Two new cars from BYD have been confirmed for Australia and I believe Thailand. They are coming very, very soon. What are these two new electric cars from BYD? Well, the first of them is the Sealion 8 and the second is the BYD, the Atto 2. First of all, let's dig into the Atto 2. We'll have a quick look at both of these cars and I'll give you my verdict on whether or not you should actually consider having a good look at one. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. Thank you to all the members of the channel. Really appreciate your support. If you'd like to become a member, I'll put a link in the description below. To 2025 BYD Atto 2 has been confirmed for Australian showrooms. In other words, it's coming this year. This will be the smallest, most affordable electric SUV offered in Australia by any Chinese automaker. It's going to arrive in the fourth quarter of this year. It's not very big. It's probably a similar size to an actual BYD Dolphin, but as you can see, it's more of an SUV body style. BYD Australia are taking over local distribution of the brand from independent importer EV Direct. I don't know how this is going to change things. It's going to be interesting. I've heard that there's going to be some big changes, but the first announcement from BYD, the company, the headquarters from China themselves direct, is these two models are coming. To give you some context though, this car is called the Yuan Pro in China. It's called the Atto 3 Up, S1 Pro. Now it's called the Atto 2. So many names, very confusing. I think this is going to confuse customers. I think the best thing for BYD to do is call it one name and stick to that name worldwide, like most legacy automakers do, to limit confusion. It's going to be sold in Australia as the Atto 2, and it should be, well, BYD is saying, the most affordable electric SUV. Pricing hasn't been confirmed, but the estimates are it'll cost around 35,000 Australian dollars. If you're from the United States or from Europe, that's approximately 22,000 US dollars, about 21,000 euros. Shows you just how affordable cars here are in Australia. So what will be its rivals? Well, there's not a whole lot in this segment. There is, of course, the Hyundai Insta, which actually it's kind of a similar size. It's a bit bigger than an Insta, but the pricing will be pretty similar. Then you've got the Kia EV3, but the EV3 starts at $49,000. It's quite a lot more expensive. In China, the Atto 2 starts at a staggering 20,000 Australian dollars. So it starts at around about 12,500 US dollars in China, meaning it's actually cheaper than the Dolphin in China. And the Dolphin costs $30,000 drive away in Australia. So, I mean, who knows? This could actually end up coming in at around $30,000 Australian dollars drive away. That would be around 20,000 US dollars, or just under about 19,000 US dollars, about 18,000 euros. That would be an amazing price if that were to happen. How big is it? It's actually slightly longer than the BYD Dolphin. It's 4,310 millimeters, 1,830 millimeters wide, and 1,675 millimeters high, meaning it's 145 millimeters, or about 15 centimeters shorter than the BYD Atto 3. Not a whole lot of difference, really. It's bigger than SUVs like the Mazda CX-3 and the Nissan Qashqai. I think this car is going to have a market unto itself, because at this price point that they're going to be coming in with, probably $30,000 to $35,000 Australian dollars, there's really nothing there. It's going to be competing against internal combustion cars, which are not going to be as good. It's got a pretty big boot space for the size of the car. It's a 400-litre boot that expands to 1,370 litres with the second row folded down. And what about the real details that you want to know? The power. Okay, it has 70 kilowatt. That's the base model. Bit underpowered, I think, but anyway, it's reasonable. The higher spec model has 130 kilowatt. That has 130 kilowatt and 290 newton meters, and it's front-wheel drive. Battery power. It uses, of course, the BYD Blade battery. It's a 51.1 kilowatt hour lithium iron phosphate battery, not the new versions of the Blade battery, of course, which are only going into the BYD Tang L and the BYD Han L. It's the existing Blade battery. So 51 kilowatt hour battery. It's actually a pretty good sized battery. That's the spec for Australia. Now, you're probably curious to know this is different to China. The Chinese model gets either a 32 kilowatt hour battery or a 45 kilowatt hour battery. I estimate range will be about 400 kilometers, considering the size of the battery and the size of the car, probably just over 400 kilometers, which is pretty good. That's going to be WLTP. BYD Australia haven't confirmed some other specs, but it does have flush door handles, a panoramic sunroof, not an actual, sunroof, but, the glass roof like a lot of EVs have, which obviously frees up more space inside the cabin. It has a synthetic leather seat trim, 8.8-inch digital instrument cluster right in front of the driver, and apparently the cheaper version, the base model, will get a 10-inch rotating infotainment touchscreen, so that's the screen in the middle. The premium grade gets a 12.8-inch screen, and it also gets a 360-degree surround camera. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I think it's going to be well specified for the price. That said, the price could be anything. I mean, who knows? But I think BYD's made a really good call here, getting that battery size right. 51 kilowatt hour battery, I think that's going to be ideal for most Australians. Good choice. Okay. Hey guys, I've got an EcoFlow Delta 2 right here and the Delta Pro, which is about 4 times bigger than this. I've used them over the past 2 months many times. I didn't think I would, but I've needed them. There's been electrical problems in the house. There's been massive storms here in Australia. They've been absolutely, for me, game-changing, life-saving. Up to 45% off sale. I'll put a link in the description, and I think that's on for the next 3 weeks. So click on that link. You can take advantage and get one of these batteries for a really good price. Second BYD coming to Australia is the Sealion 8. This is a plug-in hybrid. It's going to be a 7-seat SUV. I'm going to guess it's going to come in really well priced because there's going to be some very, very tough competition in this segment from Geely and from some other manufacturers as well. Anyhow, what do we know about the Sealion 8? Well, it will be priced at under 64,000 Australian dollars. We don't know what the price will be, but it's said that the price will be cheaper than the Sealion 7 mid-size electric SUV. So yeah, the pricing is going to be very, very competitive. Under 64,000 Australian dollars for a car this big, I think, is a really good price. And remember, the Sealion 8 is built on BYD's new 5.0 platform. It's going to bring out the brand's new long face front end styling, and it's actually quite a big car. It's 5 meters long, 5,040 millimeters, 2 meters wide, and 1,760 millimeters high. Wheelbase is pretty big as well, 2,950 millimeters, meaning that it's a similar size car to something like a Toyota Kluger or a Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid. The Outlander plug-in hybrid is probably about 5% smaller. Hopefully that gives you some context in terms of the size. Boot space. Okay, it's got a pretty decent sized boot space, not huge, 675 liters of boot space. If you fold down the third row of seats, then you have actually a really big boot space at 960 liters of space. Fold down all the seats, you get 1,960 liters. So yeah, if you're not using those rear seats, you got heaps of boot space, 960 liters. It's going to come in 6 and 7 seat configurations. Apparently, in Australia, it will be a 7-seater only. So 2 seats in the front, of course, 3 in the middle, and 2 seats at the back. Power. The BYD Sealion 8 gets obviously it's a plug-in hybrid, so it does have an internal combustion engine. It's 110 kilowatt and 220 newton meters of torque from a 1.5 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol. But there is also an electric motor, just one, and that's on the front of the car. It's a single electric motor. It has 200 kilowatt and 315 newton meters of torque. So if you're driving this in EV only mode, it's going to be a front wheel drive EV with 200 kilowatt. So a fair bit of power going through those front wheels. There will also be an all-wheel drive version. So the all-wheel drive version will have an electric motor on the front and an electric motor on the rear, and of course combine its power with that engine, right? The same engine, but I believe the engine has about the same power as the base model. The only difference is you're going to get an additional electric motor on the back that's going to put out 141 kilowatt and 360 newton meters. Total system power is massive. I mean, this is going to be a legitimate performance car. 400 kilowatt and 670 newton meters of torque. So that's the all-wheel drive version. There's the other version with just the one front electric motor. I think the pick of the bunch would be the all-wheel drive version, having 2 electric motors. So when you're driving it in electric only mode, you've got plenty of power from that front and rear drive and rear motor. Anyway, system total power, 400 kilowatts. So you're looking at nearly 600 horsepower. That's a lot of power. And it actually really shows that it's powerful. The DMP version, which is the 2 electric motor version, that'll do 0 to 100 or 0 to 62 miles an hour in 4.9 seconds. That's very fast. The The one without the rear electric motor is much slower. It's 8.6 seconds. So a massive performance difference whether or not you get the front electric motor, or both electric motors. Market fuel consumption. In China, it's 5.6 liters per 100 kilometers. And that's okay. I mean, there's some newer plug-in hybrids coming up from other manufacturers that are getting closer to 2 liters. But, that's pretty good, I guess, for a car of this size. The battery, how big is it? It's a 35.6 kilowatt hour LFP battery, lithium iron phosphate blade battery. Electric only range is 150 kilometers CLTC. WLTP, electric only range would probably be about 125 kilometers. So a lot of electric only range. I'd say for most people, you're not going to be doing more than 125 kilometers daily. So you can probably drive this as an EV only most of the time. The Sealion 8 DMI, the cheaper version of this car, so the one with just the one front electric motor, that gets a smaller battery. It's a 19 kilowatt hour blade battery, and that means its electric only range would be closer to probably about 70 to 80 kilometers. Still not bad, I think. Charging speed, it's 71 kilowatt for both models. So DC charging speed, 71 kilowatt. BYD say that means it'll take 30 minutes to recharge from 30 to 80%. So I'm going to guess 10 to 80%, which is the more official number, would be about probably 45 to 50 minutes to charge. That's probably the one Achilles heel. If you're going on a road trip and you want to recharge the battery, that is pretty slow DC charging. But I think it's still a really good option. And I mean, if you're going on a road trip, you don't necessarily need to recharge the battery. You could just fill it up with fuel. The Sealion 8 features BYD's DiPilot 300 autonomous driving suite. That's the new God's Eye C. It uses 1 LiDAR, 5 radars, 12 ultrasonic sensors, and 12 cameras to operate its adaptive cruise control, lane keeping, and lane centering systems, and it has other driver assistance features. That's not going to be in the base model though. The smaller battery option, the front electric motor option, that's not going to get that system, I don't believe, with the LiDAR. I think the more expensive version will, and the cheaper version will go without LiDAR. What else do we know? Well, on the inside, it's got a 15.6-inch touchscreen, as many EVs do these days, and it has a 12.3-inch digital screen right in front of the driver. Apparently, it also gets a heads-up display. That's good. Leather trim seats come in Chinese versions. Apparently, it's likely to get leather upholstery for Australia. Another nice feature. Will probably push the price up a little bit though. Panoramic glass roof is 2.4 meters long, and it's not an actual sunroof, but it's a glass roof like a lot of cars have these days. It frees up a lot of space on the inside of the car. It gets 11 airbags, 21 speakers surround sound stereo, and I think this could end up being BYD's best-selling car in Australia. There's not a lot to compete with this right now. I think Geely will have a strong rival for this, but for at least a little while, there's very little available on the market. If you want something like this, similar size to this, you're looking at probably a Toyota Prado, a Ford Everest. This is going to be cheaper than both of those cars. Much better fuel efficiency. I mean, most of the time, you're not going to be paying anything for fuel. You just drive it on the battery alone. Heaps of power. It's way faster than those cars, way more powerful, better technology. I think it's going to be a phenomenal vehicle in terms of hitting that market segment that a lot of people are interested in. So BYD is hitting the market hard. They're going to have so many models here in Australia and New Zealand as well, and Thailand as well. It's sort of exciting to see all these different options come to market for you guys. There's actually now 96 different electric cars you can buy in Australia. There'll soon be 97. Of course, there's going to be other models coming soon from other companies. The Zeekr 7X, the new Xpeng G9, and of course the Xpeng X9 as well. There's numerous different cars coming. So that 96 EV models could be 200 within the next 2 years. Let me know your thoughts. Would you consider either of these? Which of these do you think is going to be more successful? Thanks for watching.